Henry going up top. Got a completion to Oliver, who's considered a blocking tight end, but he fumbles the ball and the script continues. They have been a disaster in the first quarter this year, coughing up and turning over the football, and it starts today on the very first play of the game. Recovered by Brian Cook. Wow. On first down. Watch out, here they come. And Chanel able to get to sack of Cousins, who never had a chance. He turned around and Leo was waiting for him.
This is Steve Spagnuolo at his finest. We saw he puts two guys on the outside, one there, one right here, and you find very quickly you don't know which one's coming. Not every coordinator does that because you've got to leave guys on an island. Motion, you got man-to-man, you got pressure coming at you.
It's Rice for the touchdown. Rashee Rice at the goal line. And this impressive rookie has his second touchdown of the season.
Yeah, he really is impressive. I talked about him coming in with you throughout the week, and I was like, this guy's coming on. They're starting to utilize him more. And right here, he goes up, uses that body, and that's not easy to do against Murphy, who's playing good. If they get their second rounder, Rice, just keep playing like this, Jim, that's going to help a lot.
3rd and 18. All the way up to the 35 is the first down yardage. Here comes Hunter. There's Mahomes. And Mahomes' pass is caught. Oh, what a catch by Watson. He leaped right over Bynum and took it away from him for 33 yards.
This is crazy. Both guys on the edge bearing down on you. Mahomes throws a dime, and Watson goes right up. Kind of takes it away, but no one makes that throw.
2nd and goal. Mahomes wide open. Kelsey comes off the X-ray table and finds the end zone.
I see what you did there. This is two players that are just at a different level.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is the Border Patrol on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Stephen St. John and Nate Bukaty and Marco Marquez on this Monday, October 9th, 2023. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. You heard some highlights there of the Chiefs' victory on the road in Minnesota, 27-20 over the Vikings. So now the Chiefs move on to 4-1 on the season. It was a very emotional game up in Minnesota. Man, because I thought I was going to come in here and have a much more difficult time getting through this show today. Because honestly, for about, 15 or 20 minutes, however long it was, I have no idea. I was lost. I honestly thought we were going to be talking about the Chiefs losing Travis Kelce for the season when it first happened. I didn't care about the game. Maybe they would have lost the game. Maybe they would have won it. At that point, I didn't care at all. Because when Kelce suffered his non-contact injury on that stupid turf in Minnesota that they're replacing next year, And by the way, Justin Jefferson wasn't in the game either because of that stupid turf that they're replacing next year. He wasn't in the game at the end because of a hamstring injury that he suffered because of the stupid turf. I thought I didn't know what I thought. I thought it might have been his Achilles. I thought it might have been a broken foot. I don't know. I mean, my mind was wandering on me, but it was awful. It was an awful feeling, and the game became secondary, and honestly, you see it happen, and then you see the replay, and then I'm just like, oh no, don't let this happen. Come on now. And so when I really got upset and when I really thought it was bad is when they showed the footage of him going to the sideline and then trying to walk it off. First, he jumped up awkwardly, and he was kind of off balance, and it looked like he almost got in a little scuffle with one of the Vikings defenders because they tried to slap the ball out of his hands after he was clearly down. And we know from training camp, Travis doesn't like that, or he could punch you or something. And so you could tell right away, it almost looked like he was trying to jump up and just ignore the fact that he had just got hurt, get up and get in one of the Vikings players' faces or something like that. And so then when they showed the footage of him walking off the field and you could see he was trying to walk it off, and he wasn't able to walk it off. And so he takes his helmet off and slams it down into the turf. And then he sits down on the bench. And there was a point when he sat down, he just kind of went. And he was looking up at the sky. And then they showed this close-up of his face. And it was so sad. And it was like, these players know. You've heard so many times, like you bringing up Achilles because that was the worst-case scenario at that point. That they know when something serious happens. They know their bodies. And it just looked like that he knew it was something serious. He knew that he couldn't just walk it off. And he had this look like it was really, really bad. And of course, you look, today, clearly I was reading too much into everything. But what are you going to do? I mean, that was, it was awful, man. And so then I was, we had the walk to defeat ALS yesterday morning at Kauffman Stadium. Fantastic turnout, wonderful event. Thank you to all the people that came up and said hello. And so then we'd gone to eat, and we'd gone home, did a little shopping, and then, or a lot of shopping. That was ridiculous. I was left in the car for an hour and 15 minutes, whatever. Half an hour only. Hour and 15 minutes. Well, we just lost track of time. Did you? Lost track of your dad. That's right. Daddy fell asleep in the car watching football.
Can't do it.
And so they had gone to do some other things. And so I grabbed the phone for the family text message. What did I put? Let's go back. Let's go get into Steven's feelings and what exactly was happening during this moment. Because it was raw, and it was real. And I was very upset. And so I texted the boys, the girls, and my wife. And I said, this is at 4:45 p.m. Kelsey just got hurt. I think it's bad. Might be Achilles. Hopefully not. And that was it. And then I put my phone down. And then I see her at 5:05 p.m. He's back! Exclamation point. And then I called Susan. And I said, he's got his helmet on. They're not letting him go back in the game, but he was just jogging. And so, I think she was kind of like, hey, leave me alone. Stop texting me and getting me upset. But he was back. And and we'll talk to our injury expert, Aaron Borgman, a little bit later at 7 a.m. I was texting him, and this is before you texted me. I texted him before I texted my family. I was on. And I won't reveal what I texted. If Aaron wants to talk about it, he can. But I went right to him And I was upset. And I wasn't even worried about asking him on the show right then. I was like, hey, how bad did that look to you? And I'm sure that everyone else in the world was texting him. He didn't need to hear from me. And then I told him that I'm ready to vomit. So I'm sure that was great for him to hear. And then he said he'd come on the show. Because I said, yeah, either way, whatever. I mean, whether he comes back or not, going to have you on the show tomorrow. So he'll be on at 7 a.m. And so then I'm reading all these different reports. And that's the crazy thing now about Twitter or X when an NFL player gets hurt. All these doctors that now have Twitter accounts that are trying to capitalize on the huge popularity of the NFL and fantasy football, so they immediately, just based on the video, come up with some type of diagnosis. And there were a couple of them that were pretty good. Like, hey, don't worry, it does not look like Achilles to me. It looks like an ankle sprain. It looks like he went into a little bit more detail, but I want to believe you so bad. I'm thinking, I want to believe you. And then also I'm thinking, if they're wrong about this, I will make sure that I will drag this Twitter account through the mud for the rest of my life. And so I'm just waiting, and I'm trying to, and I keep going back and looking at the replay over and over and over. I'm like, oh, maybe it's just the ankle. Maybe it is just the ankle. I mean, seriously, and this was bad because I was home by myself. I was going crazy. I was driving myself crazy. I had lost my mind. So if I ever questioned myself, or you ever question, this is gonna sound so weird, how much Travis Kelce means to me, I found out yesterday, because while I thought he was hurt bad, I lost my marbles. If I have any marbles, they were gone. And so then, when they showed that video of him, because after he'd gone in for X-rays, so then he comes back out and he's jogging, and even like Jim Nance and Tony, whoa, Travis Kelce, trying to find that clip, but when they were shocked, didn't think we'd see this, just Travis Kelce jogging, and I'm like, well, they wouldn't let him jog. I mean, I didn't know what to think, and so then. It's almost like Travis Kelce is the stubborn child that will not take no for an answer. He has his helmet on, and so he's not going to let anyone take his helmet, because sometimes if a player is injured and he wants to go back in the game, but they're not going to let him go back in the game, someone on the staff will take his helmet and hide it. And so Kelce, this is not his first rodeo. He ain't letting that happen. He's got that helmet on, and he's standing, and he's trying to get back into the game. And then at one point, he runs on the field and tries to sneak into the game. And like one of the coaches like, no, come on, no, come on, come back here. And he just kind of circles around and goes back on the sideline. And I'm thinking, this dude, I mean, someone got mad because I called him a warrior. It fits. I looked it up on dictionary.com. There's more than one definition for a warrior. So I tweeted out, Kelce's a warrior, stud, whatever you want to call it, he's a stud. He won it back in that game. And so I'm thinking, well, maybe they're just not going to let him back in the game. Okay, fine. I get it. But put him back in the game. Let me just see him out there so I know he's okay. And this son of a gun goes back in the game, starts making catches a touchdown. I can't believe it. I can't believe from where I was, and I was texting my family, and I was so upset, to within an hour, I guess, I'm watching him catch a touchdown. I just couldn't believe it. I can't believe it. The Chiefs are so lucky. I mean, I don't know if you want to call it luck or whatever. Travis Kelce clearly is a beast. I'm still not. I was so rattled. I was so, look, hey, I know it. It's football. Any player can get hurt in any game. It could happen just like that. We've seen it. And then life goes on and moves on. But I did not want to live this football season. That sounded weird. I did not want to experience this football season without Travis Kelce. We're spoiled, but I love it too much. I love watching him too much. He's too important to the team. What if Vegas declared him the most important non-quarterback to the point spread in the NFL? Which is saying something. I don't know if all of Vegas declared it, but somebody did. Whatever. And so he comes back on the field, and he ends up helping the Chiefs win the game 27-20. And yes, the game was compelling. The game, there's a lot to talk about the game, but that just, even after he came back and even after they won, that deal was all secondary to me. Because this could have been a show of just, I didn't want to do the show. I did not want to do the show if Kelsey was hurt. That's how mad and upset I was. Yes, I'm a child. Yes, I need to figure things out, I need to have a long walk and talk with myself. But don't act like you weren't upset. And maybe you weren't as upset as me. Were you not both upset?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
I was gonna throw up right there. I was gonna throw up right there watching that damn game. I was so upset. Marco, were you upset? Were you paying? Did you not care?
I was more frustrated and mad. Yeah, that falls in line with upset. Sorry, I'm still waking up. Yeah, I was pissed. I wanted to punch a hole in my TV.
Yeah.
I was
wanted
just
all of it.
worried.
I wanted to write a letter to the mayor of Minneapolis.
Everything. I was so accusatory of that turf. Then you had Swifty accounts tweeting at the NFL about turf.
Yeah.
If anyone's gonna get this change, if anyone's gonna get all these damn turf fields changed to grass, it's gonna be Taylor Swift and the Swifties.
Right.
They're on our side, people. Embrace them. They're attacking the NFL for artificial turf.
To protect Travis Kelce.
They will make the NFL better, damn it. And so, just this wide range of emotion. And then he comes back, he scores a touchdown, and the Chiefs win. So, I'm just sharing with you my experience. Because it was I went through it. I was going through it. All right? Now we got through it together. Together as a people.
As a
All
kingdom.
right? We got through with love. Love and hope. So. And look, hey, and then we'll find out. It's a quick turnaround. Thursday night against the Denver Broncos. I do that because they're a laughingstock. Boy, Sean Payton. That Nathaniel Hackett. He's something else, isn't he? Ouch. I've said enough about this. We need to take a break. I need to have some Diet Dr. Pepper, some coffee, maybe a banana, settle my nerves.
There you go.
Travis Kelce is okay. That means we're all okay on Sports Radio 810 WHB. No picks. Isaiah Pacheco, 16 carries, 55 yards with a touchdown. Travis Kelce, 10 catches, 67 yards with a touchdown. Justin Watson, 2 for 56. Rashee Rice, 4 for 33 with a touchdown. And the Chiefs hold on for a 27-20 victory over the Minnesota Vikings. Now 4-1 on the season, and just a couple of drop passes away from being 5-0. And that's right. All the complaining about wide receivers and everything else, and you look at the AFC standings, and there are only two teams with 4-1 records, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Miami Dolphins, which will be a huge showdown. And, of course, you want that game at 8:30 in the morning in Germany. So that should take full advantage of the opportunity to have a wonderful atmosphere at Arrowhead Stadium for that battle of AFC superpowers. But Buffalo, they lost to Jacksonville. Jacksonville woke up and finally looked like the AFC contender that they were supposed to be. The AFC North is a mess, with the Steelers getting a win over the Baltimore Ravens. You talk about drop passes. Go back and watch that game for the Ravens and watch how awful Lamar Jackson is in the final few minutes of a football game. That's always fun. But bottom line, and look, hey, NFC, the 49ers and the Eagles are badass, and they are on a collision course to meet in the NFC Championship game unless Detroit has something to say about it. But the 49ers and Eagles clearly look like the class of the NFC, but Detroit, I'll mention them because they look pretty damn good. But meet the Chiefs. New boss, same as the old boss. So how about that, AFC? Nate Bukaty, your thoughts on the Chiefs' victory over the Vikings of Minnesota?
Yeah, I was down in the Power and Light District with Sterling Holmes yesterday doing the watch party, and it was a good crowd. It was a beautiful day. Everybody was in a great mood. And then when that Kelce injury happened, like you said, I think it got really, really quiet in the living room of the Power and Light District. And you could hear Tony Romo. I mean, boy, right when he went down, he was just like, oh, no, oh, no, oh, no. And I think that's how we all felt. And my buddies, you were talking about it, you worried about Achilles. I think a couple buddies of mine and I were texting, and one, you think it's a Liz Frank injury, and I'm like, well, I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens. But when you saw him slam his helmet on the sideline and sitting on the bench staring up at the sky, like you said, that's when I really was. At first, I was worried that he had re-injured his knee or injured his knee worse, even though, you could tell that his foot had slipped out from under him. But then when they showed the replay and you could see that his ankle had kind of rolled, I don't know if I was relieved. I was trying to decide, am I relieved that it's not his knee since he's already injured his knee this year, or could it be worse if it's his foot, like if he has a broken foot or something? And I thought it was for sure a serious long-term injury, the way he was looking, his facial expression on the bench. So see him come back out, get in the game and play, incredible, inspiring. I was trying to think at halftime what I thought the Chiefs' chances were without Kelce. Like if he doesn't come back in this game, and I know, like you said, the bigger priority is we can't lose this guy for a long time this year, more so than this game. You lose a game to the Vikings in Week 5, okay, that whatever. If you lose Kelce for a long period of time, that's far more damaging to the season. But when he was out at halftime, and we're getting ready to talk to the crowd, the P&L, and give a little thoughts on the second half, I was thinking to myself, like, okay, what kind of chance do I give the Chiefs to win this game if Kelce doesn't come back in? And it was tied at 13-13. And I still did believe the Chiefs could come back and win the game because there's still that, Patrick Mahomes, he'll find a way somehow, some way. And the defense is playing pretty all right. But it is, man, if there's one guy on the team outside of Mahomes that you just don't want to see get hurt, it is Travis Kelce. Chris Jones is obviously still a great player. There's some really good players on that defense. But, Nick Bolton Jr., really, really good player. Chiefs are able to win, even though he's been hurt the last couple games.
And that's a reminder, too. Nick Bolton hurt his ankle in Jacksonville and came back into the game, but then hasn't played since.
Yeah. That's a good point, man. That's a good point.
Kelce came back in the game, but again, I mentioned quick turnaround Thursday Night Football at Arrowhead Stadium.
Yeah.
So we'll see how things progress.
Yeah. And they'll probably get better diagnosis of the injury today, as opposed to getting an X-ray real quick in the locker room at halftime. So yeah, that's a great reminder. I do want to shout out the cornerbacks for the Chiefs defense. And yes, Jefferson got hurt, but even when he was in there, I thought they did a great job on him. L'Jarius Sneed is such a baller.
Keep your helmet on, L'Jarius Sneed.
Yeah, boy. That sequence, man, I didn't think that was, I don't know, I didn't feel like that was like a legit pass interference anyway, but he's lucky. Now, just so the Chiefs were still going to get the ball, and it was still going to be 1st and 10.
Just keep your helmet on.
Yeah, they would have had worse field position. It is crazy that I couldn't believe he didn't get a flag right when it happened. It kind of took the announcer crew a little bit to figure out what was going on, and maybe they had other stuff to look at. But when you're watching on TV, you can see. As soon as you took it off, I'm sure you were thinking. I'm like, oh God, that's
the ref told him to put it back on.
Yeah,
which if I was a fan of an opposing team, I'd be super pissed off about that.
Yes,
that plays into the narrative that the NFL and the refs favor the Chiefs.
Right.
Just think about that. If there was a guy committing a penalty for the other team, and they're just, hey, man, put your helmet back on. Oh no. So.
Yeah.
But since I like the Chiefs, I think it's funny.
Yeah.
So good.
Good. Right.
I sent you Patrick Mahomes on the field with Tracy Wolfson. What was that look? What was that look about Tracy Wolfson?
Nothing. No look in particular.
It was a weird reaction. Not like her? Do you like her?
No, very much. No,
Okay.
I very much enjoyed the CBS crew.
Yeah, I think she does a great job. Let's listen to Patrick Mahomes talking about Travis Kelce on the field after the game when he spoke with Tracy Wolfson.
I saw you gave Chris Jones a big hug there. Huge defensive stop. How would you categorize this game, though, overall?
Yeah, that was a good team win. That's a really good football team, and they've been in every single game. And I thought the offense did a better job this week. Defense stepped up, made a lot of big plays, and that's a complete team win, man. You can't say anything else about it.
What was going through your mind when you saw Kelce get hurt and have to go into the X-ray room?
Yeah, that's always scary, when guys go down like that, and I know how tough he is. And so if he was going in there, he's kind of like me. He's going to fight coach all the way in there. But, what a leader, man, getting back out there and getting a touchdown when we needed it.
Quick turnaround for Thursday. What's going to be the key in this division opponent?
Yeah, I think it's just going to be matching the intensity. I know Coach Payton and I know the Denver Broncos, and they're going to bring that intensity. It's a rivalry for real. And we'll be at Arrowhead, so I'm excited for Arrowhead to be out there on Thursday night. And it's going to be a great game.
Appreciate the time. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Bring that ass number and get prepared for it to get kicked, all right? That's all you got to do.
I'll be covering that game on Thursday night in place of Todd Lebo.
In place of me.
In place
really.
of you. Sorry.
To be honest.
Lebo's gone too, huh?
Right. I'm going to the game. I was invited to the game as a just as a Chiefs fan, and so it was this will be yesterday was the first day I didn't have to work a game, and so I enjoyed just watching. And so I covered the first two home games, and then I was in Jacksonville, and then I did the P&L watch party for the Jets. And so some friends were kind enough to invite Sue and I to the game, so we're going to go and enjoy Thursday Night Football. So thank you for stepping in and covering the game.
I'm looking forward to it. I haven't been to a game in the stadium yet this year, so a little primetime football. See the Chiefs beat up on the Broncos. I don't know what was with those Broncos uniforms yesterday. Oof.
Aaron Schatz, who I sat down and had a 30-minute interview with him before the Chiefs 49ers Super Bowl. He's Chief Analytics Officer at FTN Network and creator of DVOA. And he offered one tidbit. He said the Denver Broncos, who had the worst defense ever measured by DVOA through 4 games, also have the worst defense ever measured by DVOA through 5 games. So here comes Denver, which at least by one measure, they are offering up the worst defense anyone's ever seen through 5 weeks of an NFL season. So,
well, I mean, if you think about what they've done so far this year, right? They've given up 70 points. They gave up 31 points to the Bears and Jets in back-to-back weeks. I mean, you know, and I know, hey, Zach Wilson's maybe warming up a little bit, but come on, man. It's the Bears. It's 35 to the Commanders, 70 to the Dolphins, 31 to the Bears, 31 to the Jets.
well, at least they have a short week to prepare for the Chiefs at Arrowhead, so
Well,
they've got that going for them.
these wide receivers better get going against this team.
Things were better yesterday.
They were better. They spread it around. You know, that's part of it. They spread it around to so many different guys just because, I mean, Kelsey's the one guy that ends up with a whole bunch of catches. But that's all right. Yeah, no, they did fine. They did fine.
I'll be honest with you, man. It's going to be real hard for me to complain about anything based on what I thought I was going to be, talking about today with Kelsey. It's like,
Yeah.
whew,
Teams won
All
4 in
right.
a row. And he's hopefully healthy.
I got the best record in the AFC. After this slow start.
That catch by Justin Watson was an amazing catch. What a play. At a huge time.
Sure.
That's a wide receiver.
Big third down.
So, and I'll remember like one big drop. The Vikings had a bunch of drops. by
Ross
the way.
had one where the
Yeah.
football ricocheted off him.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
I
I mean, Kelsey could have caught that one in the corner of the end zone, but that would have been like an amazing Kelsey catch. I don't consider that a drop.
That was a good defensive play. That
Yeah.
was a fantastic throw and a terrific effort. He didn't come up with it.
Yeah, I mean, like it's only even a thought because you've seen Kelsey make that catch, but it's not like one you expect. So
I was happy they tried to get Justin Ross involved in
Yeah.
the game a little bit more.
he made a couple big catches.
And look, I mean, you're just looking for enough evidence every week that suggests that maybe Rashee Rice is at some point going to be, I'm not even going to say be that guy, because that guy is Travis Kelce, but just be one of those guys that develops into something better than they are right now. You would hope that from all the young receivers, but he had a touchdown. He had 4 catches for 33 yards. That's not going to knock your socks off. But they look for a second-round pick, a rookie in this offense, and we've seen it hasn't always been easy for a receiver to make that transition as a rookie in this offense in the NFL. He makes plays. He's developing into a guy that, if nothing else, is a playmaker around the red zone. And he knows how to get open. He gets more consistency, and they start to trust him more, and he gets out there more snaps. Then you'll see, I think, the numbers, the counting stats start to rise. But I like what I've seen from Rice. Very much so. Again, MVS had the one play where he he was going to be short of the first down, and then he just manhandled the defender and threw him down out of bounds, which made me laugh out loud. I watched that play about 5 times, but that was his only catch. And then Sky Moore again. I don't know what to tell you about Sky Moore. I don't. It's bizarre, man. Compared to what, even if you had mediocre expectations for Sky Moore in the preseason, he's not reaching those. I mean, he's had 2 games where he was shut out, and this one, I mean, 2 catches for 11 yards. So it just, hey, it is what it is. And so it was good to see Rashee Rice score a touchdown. It was good to see Ross get more involved. They continue to try to coax production out of Kadarius Toney. We'll see if somehow at some point that pops. But they spread the ball around, like you said. But the man is Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
The man.
Yep.
11 targets, 10 catches, and that one target that it was almost a catch, and it was a hell of an effort by him. So you see why that was the focal point yesterday. And you can see why, like, the game is still, yeah, they won it, but, you know, they truly won when Killer Trav had that helmet on and got back into the game. That was the true win from yesterday. Because let me tell you, if they'd have lost that game somehow at the end, they can recover from being 3-2.
Yep.
I'm not going to sit here and tell you for sure they would have recovered from losing 87. But thankfully, we don't have to find that out. Now, knock on wood.
Right.
They'll look at him today. We'll see if he's able. And again, quick turnaround Thursday night. Hello. And see if he can come back, if anyone can. But man, oh man, was it good to see him back on the field yesterday. You know. Yeah. Chiefs win 27-20 over the Vikings. Back after this on WHB. Welcome back to the Border Patrol on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Coming up, we'll have some post-game from Chiefs and Vikings after the Chiefs end up victorious 27-20. Unfortunately for Mizzou fans, after getting off to a fast start against LSU, it turned into a track meet, and Mizzou could not keep up. Ended up losing 49-39, and the game was closer than the score indicates because Mizzou had the ball in their hands twice in the last couple of minutes of the game with a chance to tie it or win it, and it ended up with a pick six by Brady Cook. But LSU wins 49-39. And now Missouri has to play at Kentucky. Kentucky went down for a showdown at Georgia. And people were thinking, oh, you know what? Georgia doesn't look quite as good. Kentucky looks really good. And so then Georgia said, okay, we'll be up 34-7 at the half. Then get back and chat with us. And so Georgia wins 51-13. So if anyone thought that Georgia may be coming back to the pack in the SEC East, Saturday's result suggests no. So I'm going to go out there, and I know that's quite a limb I'm out on, that Georgia maybe is still the best team. But you want to talk about a statement. I mean, that really at the end of the first quarter, you're like, okay, all right. Don't need to watch any more of this. Thank you. Thank you, Georgia. And as far as the Big 12, well, Oklahoma State, that was a shocker to me. Oklahoma State beats Kansas State 29-21 on Friday night in Stillwater. And Kansas puts up 51 on UCF, and they win 51-22. And Lebo was right. Everybody wanted to crown Texas. Everyone wanted to crown their ass. And Lebo had privately and somewhat publicly, I kind of got him to say what he really felt on the air last week.
Todd Lebo.
But off the air, he was telling me Lebo was getting irritated with all of the praise and publicity that Kansas and Texas were getting, and he thought that Oklahoma was he was very quietly confident about Oklahoma's chances, and they beat Texas.
They got it done.
You know,
heck of a game too.
So your guarantee of Kansas beating Oklahoma this year, I mean, it could still happen, but I don't know why you would say that. That's bulletin board material. If that gets down to Norman, look out.
Yeah, I don't remember saying that.
You thought it.
I was actually thinking as you were talking and looking at KU's schedule the rest of the way. That's the one game that I don't really.
We're going to send you to that game. How about that?
Give KU much of a chance in. Well, I'd be absolutely up for going to that game. It's at home. Hopefully the Jayhawk players will shake hands with the Oklahoma players appropriately beforehand, I would think. Is it homecoming? Is that what you said?
It's homecoming, yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, boy.
You got to go now.
Well, we'll see what the schedule allows for. I would like
Wait,
to.
What are you changing your tune all of a sudden because it's homecoming? First you said, I would love to go, and now you hear he says it's homecoming. You go, well, I'll see what the schedule allows for.
You know,
what a quick turn. You just went. I just said we're going to see. Well, I'd love to go to that. Hey,
what?
It's homecoming. Well, schedule.
I wish I could have gone to the game this past weekend. That looked like a lot of fun. I was able to watch it on TV.
Yeah.
Not many times as a KU fan, you get to watch your team just line up and kick the other team's ass
Kick
up
them
and
right
down the field.
Kick them right in the ass.
I mean, they just kicked UCF's ass up and down the field. They ran for almost 400 yards. And it was like the first drive of the game, you're like, well, I don't know that they're going to have to throw the ball all game. I mean, they just might as well just keep running it.
keep on running.
It was impressive, man. What a showing by that offensive line. That was a dominating performance. That was cool.
I know Mizzou didn't win the game, so it was sad on Saturday. And I did not get a chance to stay in Columbia and go to the game because I had to be back for IMC, the St. Pius X Warrior Gala on Saturday, which was wonderful. And so I had to be back in Kansas City. I would not have been able to go to the game and then make it back for my MC duties. But I was in Columbia Friday night for the GP Made Foundation event, which was awesome. And it was great to catch up with Gary Pinkel and his wife Missy. I talked to Brock Christopher, who listens to the show, and came up to me and said, "Where the F is Nate?" I said, "Not here, I can tell you that. You better start looking." And so then many people correctly guessed at a soccer game.
That's where I was.
Curtis Gregory came up and said hello, said he listens to the show.
Nice.
A lot of former Mizzou players listen to the show. But truly the highlight, Marco, look at this picture.
Wow.
I like that one. Even though Mizzou lost this weekend, that's a keeper right there. What do you see right there, Nate, for the people that are on radio?
I see you and Susan right in the middle.
Right.
To your left is a very handsome, suited-up Chase Daniel.
Isn't that a nice suit that he's wearing?
He's got a nice suit there,
Right.
a plaid gray and charcoal-type suit. And then right to Susan's right is Gary Pinkel. And I would assume
His wife, Missy.
Gary Pinkel's wife, Missy.
Right.
It's a bar photo. Put it on the bar.
This is that, and that's kind of like my Logan Roy, Kendall Roy fit. You like that?
You look good,
With
man.
the sports coat and the hat.
Yeah.
You like that, Marco?
Yeah.
A little.
Yeah, I like how you show your chest.
Yeah. Well, that's I have to. That's part of the deal.
Chesty man.
Yeah. I'm very chesty. So.
No Roy could ever do that. You're very unique.
The eldest boy could. He did sometimes. That's fine.
Well, I was glad to hear that, guys like Brock were thinking of me while they're at the party.
He was. Brock Christopher's a good guy.
Yeah.
No bad mouth him. That's a good guy.
No, I'm saying I'm glad it was not. I felt flattered when you texted me that.
Right.
I would go to that type of event. How do you think I would be received? I would be happy to attend. I like Gary Pinkel
You'd be
quite
received
a bit.
well if you're there to support the
Yeah,
foundation.
of course.
Tony Temple was there.
There you go.
He'd receive you.
Yeah, he would.
He's received you before.
Yes, he has.
I don't see the problem there at all. So.
But the way that you texted, I wasn't sure if Brock was saying like, "Where's that F.M. Bukaty?"
Oh, I don't know. Maybe he
or
was.
like,
I don't
"Hey,
know.
where's
I didn't
where's
read
Nate?
into
I'd like
it.
to see him."
I didn't read into it. You could take it as you will. Is what I'll say. Let's take a break now. We're going to, when we come back, we will play some comments from Big Red Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes after the Chiefs beat the Vikings 27-20. Cover on Sports Radio 810 WHB.